Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you guys have decided to join me once again for yet another video. For those that don't know and are brand new here, my name is Kristen. I am the lady that talks about things such as marketing, some lifestyle stuff, motherhood tips, anything that you need to get your day up and going. I am here for you, okay? In this little corner of the world, I try to make things very inclusive. I want everyone to feel like they have a little comfort, and just think of me as the best friend in your pocket when you just need a little motivation, a little inspiration, or just something to get you up and going and feeling great about yourself, okay? So if you've been with me thus far, you've probably caught some of my other series, such as like my Rise and Glow, which is our morning journal series. You may have caught the nighttime ritual one. I have to do a few more of those. I try to do a book of the month, so we'll do one starting in February because I'm excited to take a trip to my local library and pick out something brand new. And then this video, similarly to others, is The Beauty Becomes Her. So if you're brand new to this series, I'll give you a little snippet of what it's about. So yes, eventually we're going to get into like the makeup and the hair and how to style yourself, all of those things, which I'm sure you guys are looking forward to hearing about. But before we get there, I can't just throw all that at you and expect you to put it on and feel your best. Yes, there's one thing, but I like to work from the inside out. So we work on confidence, we work on reassurance, we work on just working on the beautiful soul that is within all of us, okay, that God has blessed us with. And yes, I will say this till I'm red enough blue in the face. Here on this channel, we're Christian girlies, so I may make a lot of references here and there to things in the Bible. You may hear me say things, but we are, because I believe that God has made us all beautifully in his image, and we need to definitely feel that and feel that spirit every single day. And so with that, I actually want to get into the topic of the day, which is about celebrating your wins, celebrating you, celebrating your accomplishments. Because what I've learned over my 30 plus years of being on this earth is that is a big key. I'm not gonna say number one, but maybe a top key to really feeling beautiful. Because the moment I am able to sit back and appreciate everything that I've accomplished, it just adds a little bit more glow, a little bit more pep in my step, because I know if I accomplish all of that, I can accomplish so much more. So I want you guys to feel the same way, as to sit back and think about everything that you've done in your life up until this point that's gotten you to where you are right now, and really just relish in it, because you've deserved it, you've earned it, you've worked for it. So as always, let me give you a quick backstory, okay? So one of the things that I am beyond proud of myself for, and you know, it's something internal that I am just proud of myself for doing, is being able to navigate and weather the storm of being a solo mommy. So you guys may hear me say that. I say solo, not single, because I adore my boyfriend, but a solo parent. So what that means is I have a little boy who's going on 8 years old. He's the light of my life. You guys may catch him in a video. When I had him, I was with his father for quite some time. And at the time, I had it in my head as a Christian girly that I'm supposed to have, you know, both the mom and the dad under the same roof, regardless of what I guess you can say the temperature of our relationship was. And at the time, it started off okay, but then it got toxic very, very, very fast. And that toxicity led to me, I guess you can say, going into a very deep pit of depression. That depression on top of postpartum, having a kid, you know, women, if you guys have experienced that, you know what that means. I've had that on top of COVID, on top of trying to be the sales lady, on top, it was just so many things. And honestly, the tower was starting to lean, if you get my drift here. It was starting to lean and sway. At one point I was, you know, gaining a lot of weight. I was an athlete, okay? You guys may hear me reference that a lot. I was an athlete for 16 years before I had my son. And all of that kind of went out the window because I wasn't able to stand on my two 2 feet, be strong enough and walk away when I needed to. And it was needed, because in my head, I had been conditioned and drilled as a child to firmly believe that you are supposed to stay with the co-parent, if you will, of your child, and regardless of how you were feeling. And it got to a point where I just said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And medically, it got to a point where I said, I can't do this anymore, because if I continue down this road, my son won't have his mom. So I had to be strong enough to pack my bags, come back to Michigan, because I was in Iowa at the time, come back to Michigan, stay with my parents for 2 years, and work my way to kind of where I am right now. So fast forward to 2025, let me give you guys a quick, 360 view of where I've managed to get myself to. I found a church home that I love. Okay. I talked about it in another video. We'll talk about it later, but I found a place that I can, get down on my knees and pray, and I feel welcome. My son is thriving in his sports. Okay. He's playing flag football, and yes, I coached it, head coach. Didn't know anything about flag football, but I learned. He's playing basketball. He's doing so good in school. He's always smiling and so vibrant while he's here in Michigan, okay? Myself personally, I've lost, I could be honest, almost 50 pounds, since I was back in Iowa 5 years ago. It's 2025, so about 5 years ago. I have an amazing relationship with a man that loves me, and I love him back. I have really a good support system with my family. My brother is back home from the Navy. My dad, some medical things, but he's doing well. Let's see, I have the career that I dreamed about as a teenager. Everything that I have now, I've kind of, I guess you can say, started to sprinkle its way into my life. And it did so but the moment that I started to realize that if something was not meant for me, it's important that I have to disconnect from it. And because I did that, and I turned myself, I guess you can say, all of my worries and concerns back over to God, He started to bless me. And the moment that I realized, hey, I'm stronger than what I'm going through. And I see it looking in my son's eyes. I see it in the work that I'm able to produce. I see it in the opportunities that are placed in my lap, that I can accomplish all of these things. And for a long time, even throughout the last 5 years, there were moments where I slowly started to forget everything that I went through. I slowly started to forget everything that I was able to triumph over. I was slowly starting to forget those things. And so it wasn't until, I'll say, the start of this year, I can be honest, the very beginning of January, we're in January, but the very beginning, that I said, I kind of want to start taking account of these things. Because what if, next year I want to look back and look at everything that I've accomplished. I want to be able to say, hey, in 12 months time, I've accomplished this, and this. It's easy for me to I won't say recite it, but tell the next person. But it's another thing for me to sit back and really admire those things, because we spend so much of our time admiring other people that we forget to kind of really appreciate the journey that we were on. Okay. So with that, I just want to give you guys 5 ways that you can really celebrate your wins, and you can start to feel beautiful, even if you're at the beginning of your journey, restarting your journey, or if you just would more ways to kind of celebrate the person that is you, the beautiful person that is you. So I'll begin with number 1. Number 1 is something I just started. Okay, you guys may have seen this before, but I call it my I did it jar. I did it jar. I should probably put a sticker on here, but so what I did is I took a mason jar. Okay, you can get it from the dollar store, doesn't matter. And I found some old scraps of construction paper, just like this, that my son had laying around, and I was like, let me use this. And what I started to do, and I'll take one out, I'm not going to read it because it's going to take away the point of this. Every day or every week or whenever I find myself accomplishing something, small milestones, I write it down, and then I place it, if I can stick my hand in here, in this jar. I'm not going to open this one. I fold it up, and I stick it right in here, just like that. And so my goal by the end of the year, possibly, I'll say December 31st, okay, as a New Year's Eve thing, because I want to start the next year with a fresh jar, okay? I want to be able to go through and read all these little sheets of paper, because again, it's my way of saying, hey, Kristen, you've accomplished all of these things in 12 months, but look how far this jar is filled already. I may need to fold the papers better, but this alone is January, okay? I can't tell you what all I wrote because these are my accomplishments. It's kind of private, but along the way, you guys will see, you know, all of the things that I've accomplished, or I may speak about them in detail versus just reading the little sheets of paper. But this is just a definite recommendation, okay? It's really easy, really cheap. You can probably do it for free. You can probably get one of your, if you have Tupperware, and everyone does, use that. And if your kids have construction paper, or if you simply have, you know, computer paper lying around, you can do the same thing with it and just write down everything that you're grateful for and that you've accomplished. It could be small things, okay? I think the smallest thing, and I can tell you guys one thing, I wrote down, let's say, I got up and went to the gym and completed a workout. It's small, but for me, it's an accomplishment that means the world. So I put that in here. So again, number one is my I did it jar. Number two, and this is something I do at my desk, and then my coworkers think I'm weird when I do it. I don't care, because for me, it's like a small happy dance or a happy snap, or just simply sitting and just smiling, okay? It's something about like when you accomplish something. So for example, let's say you completed a project at work that has been taking forever. Now, you don't want to stand up and go, yeah, to distract your coworkers, but you can sit at your desk and go, okay, yay. That's what I do for myself at the desk. I just go snap my fingers every time I complete a blog, it gets published. Every time a social post gets more likes, something that is going to continue to, you know, build the fire in me. And I just sit there and snap or smile. It's infectious, because think about it. If you're at your desk and you're smiling and you're looking like, everything's going good, your coworkers are going to lean over and look at you and go, what the heck? What is she smiling about? But the smile and your energy is infectious. And I promise, if they see you doing it, they're going to feel the need to do it as well. So number two is happy snaps, a happy quick dance, or just simply sit and smile because you deserved it. Number three, share with your loved ones. Now this one, I do it, yes, but with discretion. And here's why. Although they are your accomplishments, let me be very clear. Not everybody is going to come to you with the same energy and excitement that you have for the things that you've accomplished, okay? Now, do I tell my mom every single thing I accomplished? Yes, I do, because I'm her daughter. That's my job. Do I tell my dad? Yes. My brother? Yes. So like my intermediate family, of course. My friends, yes and no. Some things I'm like, I don't really need to tell her that unless I feel the need to. But unless it's like really exciting and I just have to share it, yes. Same with my man. I'll do the same thing. What I've learned is sometimes when you share too much, and I'm learning this, it takes away from, I guess you can say, the magic, the sparkle that it once had for you. And you know, it could be that one person, even if they're close to you, and you tell them like, hey, I just did X, Y, and Z at work. Or, hey, I just managed to save $100 for the first time in 6 months. They may look at you and go, oh, that's nice. Okay. And you can tell the energy in a room just dips. And by that point, you're kind of like, what was the point of me even saying anything? And it takes away from I guess you can say, the point and the meaning that you wanted to share with them. So while I highly recommend sharing with a loved one, maybe just pick one that you know is going to have the same celebratory energy as you. It could be your parent if you still have them around. It could be your spouse, yes, or it could just be your best friend, whoever. But I would recommend keeping that list to a minimum. And if you find someone that you do tell something to, that you're excited about, and they may not have the same energy, it's a learning lesson, but maybe it's okay to kind of refrain from telling that person stuff from now on and let them just see all of your accomplishments. Let them see the results of your accomplishments. I'm starting to become more big on that, is being silent with my moves, except I may tell my man, or I may tell, you know, my closest best friend. Other than that, I keep my moves to myself because it fuels me to say, hey, Although I didn't tell you, you're going to see it. And I'm going to show you all of the things that I'm able to do in my life that I've prayed about, I've dreamed about, and that I've worked towards. And I put my little I did it jar, okay? All right, so number 4. Treat yourself. I can't explain this enough. All right. So I'm not saying you got to take yourself on $1 million cruise, although that would be great. An all-exclusive resort. You should do that too. That's part of my Glow Girl retreat, or like, you know, solo retreat. And we could talk about it later because that's something that I'm excited about planning for myself. But you can do something small, such as like just simply making your favorite cup of coffee. Okay. This is my caffeine queen cup. Maybe it's adding a little bit of whipped cream to your cup the very next day. Something that's little, but it can act as a reward for all the milestones that you've accomplished. Okay, what I did in my, and I'll have to show you guys when I talk about the marketing stuff, I made a life binder, or like lifestyle tracker. My boyfriend teased me about the binder because it's really big, but I made a tracker for myself, and on one of my trackers is just a list of rewards that I like to give myself. So whether it's getting my nails done, getting my hair done, going to get a facial, going to the gym, so it's not really a reward, but I should do it every day. But being able to do it on an off day, I told myself I wasn't going to do, going for a swim, buying, you know, a new sweater, something. It's a reward for me. So whatever that is, treat yourself. You earned it. You deserve it. Make sure you are able to do those things. And maybe even, I don't know, every 3 months or so when you can afford it, then do something extravagant. But again, remember that this is a reward for all of the wins that you've accomplished, and never let a single, I guess you can say, milestone, or wins, we're calling them, never let a single win go by without acknowledgement. So without doing your little snap, without, you know, making yourself that good coffee, or simply, you know, don't let the year go by without taking time out for you. And that's something as women that we sometimes forget, especially when we become moms. We forget that we could take time out for ourselves, and that's okay. You know, I had to sit and tell my son that because he thinks, Mommy, you're going to take me to Legoland and the mall and Dave & Buster's, and he just thinks in his head that's what he thinks. And I'm like, Mommy needs solo time. You're going to your grandma's, and I'm about to sit in this bathtub with bubbles and relax. That is my treat to myself. So yes, those things are earned, and I have to remind my son that. And the last thing that you can do to celebrate your wins is journal. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. I'm gonna just pull out my journal that I use in the morning. Journal and look back at it. Similarly to your I did it jar, but this one's a little different because compared to the little sheets of paper that I cut, this one I can write in full length. I can write about what I did. I can dream about what I'm getting ready to accomplish. I can look back when this thing's full, because I have another one, and go back and say, dang, I really did that. Wow, I'm bad. Okay. And I can look back and read this. Just think about it. 10 years from now, I may have like 5 of these things, but I'm gonna go back and say, wow, I really did that in 2023. Oh, wow, I really did that in 2024. I was able to do that in 2025. It's almost kind of like reading my own book to myself. Now, you know, you've heard people do memoirs and things, but you wonder why they do that. They do those things to celebrate their achievements. They do those things to inspire others to go after their dreams and to chase the things that are important to them. And so with that, I mean, I want you guys to take this. One of the biggest things and keys to feeling, I'm talking about feeling in your spirit and soul, beautiful and glowing, is to celebrate your wins. And I cannot stress that enough. You could do one of the 5. Do your I did it jar. You can do your happy snaps. You can share it with your loved ones. You could treat yourself and write about it. Those are the 5 things I highly recommend. And if you haven't caught any of my other videos, please feel free to do that, because like I said, this is my corner of the world to share and inspire you to feel good and to just feel that glow that probably has been missing for quite some time. Well, with that, I thank you guys for listening to another video, and I look forward to our next one.